The next act to grace the stage is Normal Within Reason, which may seem like an innocuous thing to say, but that's also the title of his album. You all should check it out. It's called Normal Within Reason. He performs all around Oregon. So naughty, so nerdy. Welcome to the stage, the wonderful Max Brockmann.
Give it up for Naomi Taylor. Okay, if you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. My name is Max Brockmann, and this is 19 jokes and one story in 12 minutes. Sometimes I like to smoke a plant. I won't say which plant, but I will say this. It starts with marijuana, and it ends with both of my arms stuck in Pringles cans. Sometimes I like to smoke a plant. I won't say which plant, but I will say this. It starts with marijuana, and it ends with me opening 20 stores and gentrifying the neighborhood. When I can't find parking, I always park at a church. Best case scenario, I get free parking. Worst case scenario, I get sent to hell, which also has free parking. I think penguins are the best animals of all time because when it comes to fight or flight, they fail adorably at both. I lived on the West Coast my whole life. I love the West Coast. I love my Midwest friends, but my Midwest friends have some culture shock because it's all flat there. There's no hills. So every time one of my Midwest friends sees a slight hill here on the West Coast, they think it's a mountain. That's a thing. So I went on a road trip with one of my Midwest friends. She points out the window and goes, "What's the name of that mountain?" I said, "That is a Burger King parking lot." I'm sorry, Mount's Burger King parking lot. I went to the Midwest, went to Chicago. It was my turn to be culture shocked. Before I ask this question, and Channel Force does not count, who's been on a real you think you're gonna die roller coaster? Because we don't have them in Oregon. I got strapped into a metal box by a teenage worker and I survived. So now I understand religion for the first time in my life. I get it. You have faith in an unseen being, that's nothing. I have faith in a 15-year-old named Sean who just masturbated on his lunch break. That is real faith. People say that I walk weird. I don't walk weird. I walk according to what music I'm listening to at the time. Like when I listen to rock, I walk fast. When I listen to alternative, I walk slow. And when I listen to Coldplay, I walk off a cliff. I was standing next to a female friend of mine, and someone called us a handsome couple. It's one of those things where we both got disgusted, right? She's like, "We're not a handsome couple." I'm like, "That's right. We're not handsome or a couple. We are ugly friends." A lot of people like to look in the mirror to see what they look like. I don't do that because I have a better system. I just walk outside. I can tell what I look like based off of what drug someone tries to sell me. You know, like if someone offers me meth, I should probably take a shower. If someone offers me ecstasy, that means I need to take a nap. And if someone offers me weed, I buy some weed. I am a caregiver by trade. I spent 35 minutes last night trying to convince an adult to let me change their underwear. People complain about babies, but babies don't talk back. My baby talks back, and my baby fought Vietnam. My favorite person I take care of, I'm going to call her Molly Ringwald because I want to protect her privacy, and because I cry when I watch Pretty in Pink, and I'm going to take that back. So Molly says the same thing every single time I talk to her. She goes, "I've been everywhere in the world. I have nowhere else to go because I've been everywhere in the world, even Alaska." But last night she confused the word Alaska with Alcatraz, which is different. I've been everywhere in the world, even Alcatraz. Wait, what's the other word? Alaska. What's the other word? Alcatraz. Alaska and Alcatraz are not the same. One is a prison hellscape, and the other one is an island off of San Francisco. A little bit about me. I am what you call a sober person. There are two different types of sober people in the world. There's a type of sober person who never started doing drugs in the first place. And then there's a type of sober person who used to have fun. I'm that kind of sober person. I had someone tell me I must be bad at doing drugs because I had to stop doing them. It's the exact opposite. I am so good at doing drugs that I had to retire undefeated. Yeah, I'm like the Michael Jordan of drinking too much and stealing a penguin from the zoo. I'm so good. I used to leave myself notes on my hand with a Sharpie when I was blacked out drunk. Then I would read the note in the morning when I was sober. I woke up one morning on a note in my hand saying, "Don't open your eyes." I used to set up dates for myself when I was blacked out drunk and then go on the date sober. It's like going on a blind date that I set up myself. Except the only thing I know about my date is what's on my notes on my hand. Like, she works at an aquarium and has a strong arm. No, I like a girl with a strong arm as much as the next guy, but there's no aquarium where I live. So I go on the date, I found out this person works at a pet store and has a cast on her arm. And a can of Pringles on the other arm. I woke up from a blackout one time to find a shoebox full of gift cards, including a $40 gift card for Hobby Lobby. No idea how I got that. About 6 months later, I had to buy an easel for a comedy show I was putting on. So I decided I'm going to use my gift card at Hobby Lobby to buy the easel. And to answer the question, you might be thinking, yes, I felt bad about shopping at a homophobic store, but I found a way around it, which is this. When I'm done using my easel, anyone that wants to can have gay sex on my easel. And when I'm done using my easel, and everyone in Corvallis is done having gay sex on my easel, I'll return it to Hobby Lobby. And when I return it, the guy's gonna be like, "What is that on the easel?" And I'll say, "It's paint. It's white paint. It's sticky white paint." And the guy's gonna be like, "Sir, you cannot return an easel with sticky white paint on it." And I'll say, "That's okay. I don't care if you return it. I just want you to hold it a little bit longer." Because there's cum on it. I was the only person at a party that wasn't on acid one time. Being the only person not on acid is like having superpowers. I had the ability to multiply and divide. I had the ability to not fall down a flight of stairs. I showed these people a magic trick. They tried to burn me at the stake. Luckily for me, one of my abilities is the ability to untie a knot made out of Twizzlers. I used to do drugs that destroyed my mind, my body, my spirit. Now I drink diet soda, so my health is exactly the same. I woke up from a blackout one time and I found a scavenger hunt that I set for myself the night before. It took me 4 hours to solve the scavenger hunt and find the prize, which was a post-it note self-representation of my self-esteem. It's a pretty good prize, but my car keys would have been a better one. I love movies. It's the thing I missed the most about COVID. And I don't like 3D movies. I think it's a gimmick. I do like 7D movies. 7D movies a lot like a 3D movie, except instead of getting 3D glasses, you just get LSD. Not only will things pop out of the screen, but you will taste the acting. And if you have not tasted Nicolas Cage, your review of National Treasure is meaningless. All right, I told you guys 19 jokes in a story. I'm going to tell you guys my story. It's my celebrity story. Everyone's got one. Everyone's met a celebrity. This is mine. It's a few years ago, outside of a Starbucks, and I was sitting out there drinking a Frappuccino, like a boss, and a weird guy started going up to everyone outside the Starbucks and talking to them. And I can tell that he wasn't asking for money, but it was a weird, interesting conversation, whatever it was. Now, I love that kind of thing, so I was excited. Came up to me, I was like, "Okay, man, no hard sell. I'm down, I'm interested, what's happening?" And he goes, "Do you know who's inside a Starbucks right now?" I said, "No, who?" And he goes, "Randy Johnson." And I said, "Who?" He goes, "Randy Johnson. He's a Hall of Fame baseball player, played for the Yankees." We're going to pause the story just for 1 second, because you need to know one important piece of information to understand this story, and that is that Randy Johnson is not known for being in the Hall of Fame or playing for the Yankees, Randy Johnson is known for one thing and one thing only, which is killing a bird with a fastball during a baseball game. Has over 10 million views on YouTube right now. And that's how life is, right? Like in the Hall of Fame, no one cares. You kill one bird that owes you rent money. And that's on your tombstone forever. So back to the story. I had to ask this guy the one question that mattered, which was, why are you out here preaching the good word of Randy Johnson instead of, inside a Starbucks partying with Randy Johnson? And he said, the one thing I will never forget in my entire life. He looked at me and he said, the people inside of Starbucks don't think I should be in there anymore. That's when it crystallized in my mind. This guy got kicked out of Starbucks for stalking Randy Johnson. So he finally leaves about 10 minutes later. After that, a tall, muscular, mustached man walks out of Starbucks. I look up and I take a wild stab. And I say, Randy Johnson? Randy Johnson looks down at me and he goes, yeah, are you a baseball fan? And I said, no. The look of fear in the eyes of Randy Johnson, I can only equate to one thing in existence, which is the look of terror in the eyes of a bird right before it's murdered with a fastball by Randy Johnson. And that's because he knew that I didn't know him for baseball. I could only possibly know him from one other place. He looked at me and he said, is that guy still here? That's my story about how I met a celebrity, Randy Johnson stalker. Thank you. Have a great night.